Welcome to the New Warehouse Podcast, the podcast for those that are curious about what's possible inside their four walls. Before we get into this episode, let's hear a word from our sponsors that make this all possible. How healthy is the storage in your warehouse? Have you ever walked the aisles looking for rack damage, empty pallets, or hanging pallet wrap? I know I've spent too much time doing that in my ops career. Now, there's a better answer from Dexery. Storage Health is their AI-powered check that runs with every robot scan that can detect damage, safety hazards, and hygiene issues across your warehouse at every height. Think damaged racking, pallet defects, tipped items, hanging shrink wrap, or damaged goods. Easily detected and alerted by Dexery's AI-powered platform while their robot scans your aisles. Stop missing these critical ops items and put Dexery's Storage Health to work for you at Dexery.com. That's DEXORY.com. Thank you to our sponsors, and now let's get to the podcast.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey, it's Kevin with the New Warehouse Podcast here at MODEX 2026. And right now I am in the EPG booth, and I'm going to be joined by Jett Chitanand, who is the president of EPG USA. And we're going to talk a little bit about EPG, but we're also going to talk about some awards, some nominations they have. They got a lot going on here. And then later we're going to jump over and we're going to get a demo of some of the things that they are nominated for. But first, Jett, tell us, how's the show going?
It's been going great so far, and really appreciate you having us here.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here. Happy to come over in the green glow over here. I love it. It's fantastic. So for people that are not familiar with EPG, why don't you give us kind of a brief overview?
Absolutely. EPG is a supply chain execution software platform. So think products such as warehouse management software, contract and billing, which is typically very, very useful for 3PLs. We also have our transportation management system, as well as our overall warehouse control system as well. And on the other side of it, we acquired a company called the Top System, and through that, we acquired Lydia Voice.
Right.
That was done in 2016, so we also have a voice picking solution.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we are just launching, or have launched, I should say, our AI environment called Aura.
Yeah, and I see it. And the green glow is kind of like a little bit of aura around you too, I would say. So it's perfect. It's very fitting, right? So you have the Lydia voice pick, right? Which we've tried out before, which is fantastic. And we see that over here in the booth as well. And now you have Aura too. And you have some gamification stuff going on as well.
Absolutely.
Right? But you just won best product for something at Logimat as well. So tell us what that product is and tell us about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're honored to win the Best Product Award in Logimat, and that was specifically for EPG Aura.
Yeah.
So EPG Aura is our environment that sits on top of WMS or any execution suite. And really, we partnered also with NVIDIA to be able to come up with use cases that are specific and relevant to solving problems in the warehouses, which is what we're focused on.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations on that award, definitely. And obviously a great product there. And now here at MODEX, you're also nominated for an MHI Innovation Award. Tell us what that nomination is all about.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, so that's for our Lydia Voice product. Specifically, that nomination was for our new feature that we launched, is called gamification.
Okay.
So oftentimes you see, warehouse jobs are so demanding, and the workers are, you could suffer from low motivation, walking around 8-hour shifts, things like that. Yeah, it can get tiring quite quickly. So this is a really, really good way for employees to get engaged, at the floor level, and also instill a friendly competition. So let's say that Kevin, you're the number one picker.
Yeah.
You can see that and get that
that is
feedback.
most likely, I will say. Yeah.
Absolutely. Instantly. But let's say I'm a slacker and I'm at number 10. So I'm like, how do I catch up to Kevin, right? So if I know where I am, that friendly competition can help me sort of boost my performance and then compete with you. And finally, if I'm competitive, obviously wanted to usurp you. All in all, the way we're doing this is to also, why we're also doing this is not only increase motivation, but also increase engagement in the warehouse workers and also have productivity as a shared task for the workforce. So some things we see is that, at the end of the month, let's say you're the best picker, companies can then give you like a gift card, or like an award or bragging rights, whatever the case may be, right? Just to make it a lot more, enjoyable working experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the gamification part is so great, not only for the reasons you listed, but also if we think about the kind of generations that are coming into the workforce, right? They've kind of been geared to these digital things and, incentivized to continue to be on apps and things like that. So the more we can kind of make it fun and have that gaming element to it, right? The more engaged I think that they will be too as well, which helps from a recruitment perspective and then ultimately like a retaining perspective too, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and that's also part of the, the overall reason, right? I mean, we're always forward looking. We're always seeing how can we best improve our product to not only solve real life problems, but also how we can evolve. And that's the name of the game ultimately, right? If you don't evolve, then you're left behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And now tell us a little bit more about Aura as well, right? So this is a AI component to EPG, right? So tell us. A lot of people talking about AI, right? So tell us, what does Aura do specifically?
Yeah, so one of the reasons why we did win the award and why this is so important and front and center for us is because we are focused on solving real life problems inside the warehouse.
Sure.
So for instance, we can look at documentation where you get a receipt or you get a delivery note. So you have to be able to type everything, all the information in to be able to capture the information here. We have the AI environment where we can scan it and then say, or even talk with it, just like you talk with ChatGPT, and say, this is, I need to scan this. I need to get this information. Help me with it. And can walk you through those workflows. And all that information is, not to get too technical, but that's stored in our semantic brain.
Yeah, interesting. And I think that's fantastic to concentrate on those problems within the four walls and be able to have that application, right? So we've talked about some of the gamification. We've talked about Aura, right? So appreciate you giving us the overview. But now I'm ready to get over here in the booth and see what this actually looks like. Yeah,
absolutely. One last thing I want to add is, we specifically partnered with NVIDIA on our observer use case, and we've that's helped us tremendously, and also helped that the partnership has also helped us open several doors, and several companies look at us from a different perspective and say that we're doing something really, really cool that is solving their problems in this space. So happy to show you our use cases. So let's jump right in.
All right, sounds good. Let's go over to the other side of the booth. All right, I'm over here on the other side of EPG's booth now, and I'm going to check out EPG Aura with Jason Wojtal over here. He also showed us Lydia in Miami earlier last year too, as well. So excited to see Aura. Jason, tell us a little bit about it and take us away on our Aura journey.
Sure, you bet. So Aura is our AI-powered environment. We're excited to show to our customers. So with Aura, what you get is you get an environment that connects all of your systems, all of your processes together. It really takes your existing operation and makes it more efficient, more productive.
Yeah, absolutely. So show us a little bit about how it works. What can we do with Aura?
Yeah, sure. So let's start with our Observer.
Okay.
Yeah, so with Observer, you think of an Observer as an extra eye in your warehouse.
Sure.
Yeah. So what we can do is, are you familiar with OCR?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we do is we have IDP, which is much better than OCR.
Okay.
OCR recognition rate is about 65%. With our solution, our image recognition is about 95%.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah. So for example, paperwork comes into the warehouse. Drivers sometimes don't take care of it. We can crumple it up, whatnot.
Yeah. Let me crumple it here.
Yeah, go for it.
No hidden magic tricks or anything here, right?
That's
Get
right.
a crumple from the audience. Or,
Yeah. And we'll just flatten it back out. So what we have here is a delivery note.
Okay.
And maybe it's hard to read. It's in
Yeah.
bad shape. So we can take our device and go through our communicator and just ask, I'll ask a simple question. I have a delivery note. What should I do? And now the communicator is going to go out and it's going to search documentation that's been uploaded into the semantic braid.
Click on the button to start the execution.
All right, so found 3 matching workflows. Right here, I want to do the word delivery note digitizer.
Okay.
So I'll come in, take a photograph, Kevin, take a picture, just hit continue. So what it's doing now is just going out into the system and saying, okay, well first, I got ahead of myself. It's scanning the document. It's just taking all the information on here, recognizing it in the shape it's in even, and then it's going to go out to the system and find our delivery note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. And even with the rip and all the crumpling and everything, it's still able to read that information.
Yeah, because if there's something missing, what it does is it'll piece it together. It says, oh, okay, the one's cut off here, but it looks like a one, and it recognizes that, that is a one. So then it comes up, and then you can say process, and receive the order.
Okay.
Yeah, and now it's received into the system.
Oh, and it's received just like that.
Just like that.
There's no other confirmations or no. Just hit okay. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So what part of Aura was that? That was Observer?
That was Observer.
Observer.
Yeah,
Okay.
an IDP function. Now we have another piece that goes with Observer, which is our intelligent video analysis.
Okay.
And that's powered by our partner NVIDIA.
That's what we see here on the screen?
That's what we see here on the screen. So here's some examples that we have set up. So we have video streams coming in, and what Aura is doing is it's analyzing the video, contextualizing it, and putting what it's seeing and what it's observing out here. So here in our picking aisle, we have some alerts that we have configured. Right, you can add alerts in here where you say, hey, I want an alert for overcrowding.
Okay.
For example. So I want, and that's what we're looking at here. It's looking, and I also have an alert in there that says, I want to notify me when anybody's dropped product or a box.
Okay.
So we look here. I can focus just on the video stream from my picking aisle.
Yeah.
And you can see
here.
here.
I see the box. Yeah.
Yeah. And right here, it's textualizing it. So it's telling you a man dressed in a gray jacket over a black shirt paired with blue jeans.
Oh, wow.
And it just takes you right through. He's carrying a box. He's dropped the box.
Ah, okay.
Right.
So it's helping you identify the person too. It's
an extra set of eyes.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. It's an extra set of eyes for you there. And then what you can do is click on open here. So if you're not in front of your computer, but you want to go back and look at that clip of the video stream, it clips it for you and you're able to view it.
Oh, and it has that clip. So you can see that moment in time basically. Interesting. That's really interesting. And I see security side as well. Block
Right. Yeah. So for the incoming goods side here, we have active alerts for dwell time. So we're monitoring. Picture this as being your inbound dock. Maybe it's temperature controlled inventory, and it's monitoring how long the product has been sitting out. And it's sending alerts. So we have it set for every 10 seconds, notify us, and then operations can take action then say quickly.
Yeah.
And this one, the block storage. So think about a floor storage location. We're just doing pallet counts. We have a video camera sitting up there.
Sure.
It recognizes how many pallets are in that location. As you'll see here, the forklifts will be coming in and it'll notify us, and it's keeping count of pallets that are inbound to that location.
I see. So it's kind of alerting you all right, it seems like maybe one pallet has been left behind, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love how it's kind of calling out those exceptions, but also love that you can define what the exception is, right? I think that's really, really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Without you defining the exception, it's just analyzing the video. That's it. Yeah. You ask what alerts you want, and it's in plain text.
Yeah.
For the next one here for security, hey, alert me anytime somebody doesn't have is not wearing their safety vest. So you see here, someone comes into the frame.
And she takes off the vest.
Right. And you'll see the alert pop up here.
Oh, and that creates the alert. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it recognizes.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting to see that. I mean, the ability to kind of identify those exceptions, right, and understand and see places essentially that you don't see all the time, right?
Right.
Because you only have so much leadership, right? And, employees don't tend to, report themselves for doing the wrong thing or dropping a box or just calling out that like, oh, it seems like maybe there's a pallet that's left behind or a pallet has been sitting here for too long. It's outside of our SLA or our KPIs, whatever the case may be. I mean, I think that's a super interesting way to be able to customize and define for you, like what those things are, right? Even if you're looking at like specific kind of events or specific projects that are going on, it sounds like you can just like set that up on the fly almost, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a meeting with your leadership and you're like, you know what, this is really a problem for us. Like we jump in Aura, we type in the problem, and then we monitor it and be able to see all the events and times that's happening. So it's really valuable and a big unlock there, I think, from a visibility perspective.
It really does.
Yeah.
Also, within our Aura environment, we have what's called Orchestrator. So Orchestrator, think of it as your overall observer and orchestrator of all activity from your various systems. Could be activity from your shipping solutions to your WMS, what have you, can time together. And what it's doing is it's constantly analyzing what's happening in your internet. And if you notice here, it's valuing truck ETA.
Yeah.
So with the truck ETA, it recognizes, okay, here, what situations come up. The carrier UPS has changed, delivery time has changed significantly. Five orders are affected. It lists the order numbers that are high risk of missing their SLAs.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then it gives you recommended actions. So action, hey, you want to block the orders, and it goes through all of the recommendations where you can read them. And then it gives you the action. You can say, yes, perform it.
Yeah.
System will go out and make all the adjustments for you. So it can analyze multiple systems at once. Think about it. If something happens in the warehouse, I might have to go into the WMS, see what's affected, check my transportation schedule, what's affected. Well, it's constantly monitoring that. So anytime you want to alert, like, hey, we have something late, it'll orchestrate this. And based on your processes and system information, it'll make the recommendations for you. And you always have that bit of human intervention. Yeah. So it won't do anything unless you say, yes, execute, take action. Correct.
Yeah, interesting. I love that because I think it's so interesting because, oftentimes you run into these situations and then it's a bunch of like data deep dive and trying to figure it out.
Right.
And sometimes it's like, by the time we can even dig down and do the analysis, it's like it's too late, right? So I mean, this is kind of really calling it out almost immediately, right? And gives you some recommendations to be able to do that, which I think is fantastic for any leaders that are in the operations world.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a huge time saver for sure.
Yeah, interesting. And then we got what?
Yeah, and also, we go back to our device here.
Sure.
So we also have communicator within. So as you saw earlier, I showed you can load up your documents and whatever. I mean, this really becomes like I said, your best friend. Yeah. So if I'm a new employee and I'm in the warehouse and I come across a broken pallet or a damaged pallet, I don't know what to do. My first day on the job, I can come in and I see a broken pallet. What should I do? So right now it's thinking, it's going through and looking through all the documents.
Yeah.
Found 3 matching workflows. Click on the button to start the execution.
Okay, a broken item documentation. So here it's asking me to scan the pallet ID or container ID. I scan it, processing request, it identifies it, and I can confirm it. Now what can happen in the background is with this action, it's automatically put on quality hold.
Yeah.
Right there, and now that new operator is addressed to broken pallet, it's on quality hold. And no more activity will happen until it's resolved.
Interesting. So basically, I mean, for any new employee, right, coming in, I mean, the answers to like all their questions are right there, which I'm sure like helps to get their training up to speed faster, right? And also helps them feel a little more confident in the job that they're able to do that, right? So now how does that, that information like get into there, right? Because obviously like every operation has different processes and things like that. So how do you load that in and how does Aura like know how to do that?
Sure, let me show you. So if we go back to our virtual assistant. So right here, when you go into your personal assistant, I created an SOP. So again, we can drag and drop any files you have. So if you have documented SOPs already in your warehouse, it takes it in and it's available immediately. So we could drop in a brand new process and then begin asking Aura questions against that process, and it'll give me the right recommendations to make based on how we will operate.
Interesting. So basically, if I get Aura up and running for me, right? Like I just take all the SOPs I've created over time, and I just dump them in there and all the forums maybe and all those different things, and then they'll use that as kind of the database to draw from to answer those questions like you
Exactly. User guides, whatever you have. The more information it has, the better it will be. So you can upload your repository of relevant, information. That most companies do have, and put it in here. And now it's digitized, and anybody can. Hey, I don't remember what to do in this situation because it doesn't happen that often. I'm not trying to find somebody to figure out what's happening. I just ask, and then it'll prompt me through processes, and it can even take action.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting, and it's another complete level of like visibility, and it unlocks a ton of options. And I can only imagine like the different things that you could do with this. Like my mind is kind of spinning with potentials, right?
Sure.
So, super interesting to see Aura here with you, Jason, and really interesting to see, how you can very much like interact with not only your existing system, but also some of the documentation you had previously, and how you can get the answers that you need a lot quicker. And also see those exceptions in a much better level and immediately, right? Calling out those exceptions as we saw in the video feeds there as well. So appreciate you showing us Aura. And now I think we're going to switch over and learn a little bit more about gamification.
You got it, Kevin. Thank you.
All right, so we just saw EPG's Aura, which is their new AI rollout from Jason. And now I'm with Ryan Absil, and he is going to show us about their gamification features. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about the new gamification features.
Yeah, absolutely. Gamification is bringing context of gaming elements into Lydia Voice. So common gaming elements you can think of like points, leaderboards, challenges, things like that are being introduced into typical non-gaming contexts, such as warehouse voice picking, right?
Yeah.
So the goal of gamification is to take a repetitive task over a long period of time and make that more enjoyable for the user. Also while driving to some extent like a competitive nature.
Yeah.
Right? The need to be or wanting to be on the top of a potential leaderboard, right? And trying to avoid being on the bottom of the leaderboard. But just by giving that real-time feedback to users can keep them more engaged, and as a result is enjoying or increases the user experience. So by gamifying something that is really not a game, right? Just drives that motivation and more focus and commitment from the user.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you telling me that picking is not a game?
Picking is not a game in some ways,
Until
right?
now.
It's serious. It is now, though. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So gamification, obviously, underlying factors like motivating the employees, right? Giving them visibility into how they're actually performing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also, as I talked with Jett about earlier, like younger generations too, more interested in gaming, right?
Yeah.
Make the work a little more fun, right? Keep that retention up a little more and make it more attractive to maybe do these types of roles.
Exactly.
So now we see on the screen here, I mean, this is what the dashboard looks like.
Exactly. So we can break out users across different levels. So imagine like a gold level, silver level, and bronze level, which of course is all defined by customer to customer based on like units per measure, productivity rates, things like that. But our goal here is showing that users, again, their badges that they can win.
Okay.
And again, their ability to step up to different levels. And all of this information is presented in audio form to a Lydia user.
Yeah.
I mean, with voice picking, we're not looking to give visual feedback, right? Give visual badges. We're giving audio cues as what they've completed and their success and their performance throughout the day.
Yeah, interesting. And I see the mention of coins here too. Tell us a little bit about the coins.
Yeah, our Lydia coins are, again, a new...
Lydia coins?
Lydia coin,
oh,
right?
My
so
gosh.
new,
Lydia
new
now
feature.
has her own bank, so Lydia's getting more powerful
bank,
and the more I get to know her, yes.
Right. But the ability is that a user can collect coins throughout the day, right? Throughout a shift and throughout the week.
Yeah.
That really can be then exchanged for like really non-monetary things, like whether it's a small gift card, a chocolate bar, whatever it may be. But it is a currency or performance that is tracked throughout the day, throughout the shift. So
very interesting. And so this is kind of the dashboard and what you see, and you can see, how people get ranked and where they are in terms of performance. So obviously we can see how that can be motivating, and obviously, with a prize, we love prizes as humans, right? So now show us, and I guess maybe let us hear a little bit.
Absolutely.
How does the voice picking Lydia voice actually allow us to know what's going on from a gamification perspective?
Yep. And she's giving you that feedback all throughout your shift, right, as you're working through. Here we have a rather condensed demo where we're trying to show all that information and all that feedback in a relatively short application, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these outputs that you hear are really not all back to back, right? But through like an 8-hour shift. Not every pick that you make is going to contribute a Lydia coin, right? They're more spread out.
Okay.
All the other features too, like our coin rain or coin boost, which is just a mini game inside a game, if you will.
Oh wow, it's sounding like more and more fun the more you explain it.
Right, it really is.
New order with 9 positions.
So here's just the standard workflow. I'll unmute our game function. Game unmute. Start order.
Pile 1.
Okay.
Rack 5, shelf 11.
So I'm doing the typical steps of a voice pick workflow, right? Being directed to a location, and I'm going to confirm that location with a check digit. 08.
2 pieces.
2.
Rack
And now you
5,
can hear that
shelf
little
12.
ting is telling me that I made Lydia coins.
Congratulations.
And now I'm
Your
getting performance
is
info.
261 units an hour.
Oh wow.
Promoted to silver.
And you can see that because of my performance
made the
so
silver,
far throughout the day,
yeah,
I made my tier jump from bronze into silver, right?
Yeah.
But giving that feedback to the user throughout a shift is really what's key to keep them motivated, keep them engaged.
Yeah. So I mean, it really. I mean, obviously, like gamification, with the leaderboard and stuff like that. But obviously, bringing Lydia into the scope of that, I mean, it really makes it sound like a game. I mean, even from like the sound effects of the coin, like you said, and then letting you know, like, oh, you just moved up to the next level. That's pretty cool. And I'm curious, like, what has been some of the reaction here at the show to that?
It's really been positive, right?
Yeah.
People are looking for ways to keep their users more engaged, especially with younger generations. They're looking for features like this or elements like this that can just make, again, a hard job a little bit easier and more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right. Certainly, there's a competitive nature to it, but it's also more of like the joy of it, right? Getting badges for your own personal reward versus trying to compete. But certainly, there's a competitive element to it, right? When you're looking at a dashboard like this and you see rankings, like you don't want to be the last person on that listing, right? You want to get to the top. That's definitely a big part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So fantastic to see the gamification feature, and obviously sounds like a lot of fun, right? I kind of want to take Lydia home and play the game myself and have some fun. I'm sure my son would enjoy it too as well. He likes to get all the coins and all those video games and everything like that. So really appreciate you showing us the gamification with Lydia. And looking forward to seeing how Lydia continues to evolve as well.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Enjoyed this episode? Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast, and for more content from the New Warehouse, find us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Links to subscribe can be found in the show notes, and for everything The New Warehouse, head to thenewwarehouse.com.